Chapter 1. The Illusion of Love. Most men grow up believing in a fairy tale that love is a mystical bond, a meeting of souls destined to intertwine. Society sells this fantasy relentlessly, from movies to love songs, conditioning men to chase an emotional high disguised as true connection. But what if everything you've been taught about attraction is a lie? Philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer cut through the illusion centuries ago. What we call love is not spiritual, it's biological programming masquerading as emotion. Feel that electric pull toward a woman. Your brain isn't recognizing her soul. It's running a cold subconscious calculation. Is she fertile? Does her genetic makeup complement yours? Will her traits give your offspring a survival advantage? These aren't romantic questions, they're evolutionary imperatives. Women's attraction works the same way, just with different priorities. Their instincts evaluate status, resources, and social dominance because, for millions of years, survival depended on it. This explains why passion fades. The euphoria of falling in love isn't designed to last. It's nature's way of ensuring reproduction. Once its job is done, the chemical high dissipates, leaving many men confused and heartbroken. They blame themselves, their partners, or fate, not realizing the truth. They were never in control to begin with. Biology doesn't care about happiness, it cares about replication. Look at the wreckage of modern relationships. Men destroy themselves for women who later walk away without remorse. Marriages collapse once the initial spark dims. Dating apps turn courtship into a brutal marketplace where 80% of women compete for the top 20% of men. None of this is random, it's the inevitable result of hardwired instincts clashing with modern social myths. The cruelest twist: women aren't consciously manipulating this system, they're following an ancient script written by natural selection. A man's loyalty, kindness, or sacrifices mean nothing if he fails to meet the subconscious criteria her biology demands. Schopenhauer saw this clearly. Love is the ultimate goal of almost all human effort. But it is a trick played on us by the species to achieve its own ends. Most men never grasp this truth. They spend their lives seeking validation from women, believing love is earned through devotion, but biology doesn't reward fairness, it rewards survival. The sooner a man accepts that attraction operates on rules he didn't create, the sooner he can stop begging for approval and start playing the game strategically. This isn't cynicism, it's clarity. Romance isn't a divine force, it's a Darwinian algorithm. And the man who understands this stops chasing illusions and starts building real power. Chapter 2. The harsh rules of the game. Most men operate under a fatal misconception. Believe attraction is negotiable. That if they just work hard enough, prove their loyalty, or follow the right script, they'll be rewarded with love. But biology doesn't care about fairness. Women's attraction follows ancient, unspoken rules shaped by survival, not morality. The sooner men accept this, the sooner they stop losing. The brutal truth: women are biologically wired to seek three things: status, security, and genetic superiority. These aren't choices, they're imperatives. For millions of years, a woman's survival depended on selecting partners who could protect, provide, and pass on strong genes. Modern society may preach equality, but instinct still drives the game. This explains why nice guys finish last. Kindness alone doesn't signal evolutionary fitness. A man can be devoted, caring, and selfless, but if he lacks dominance, ambition, or social proof, he's invisible. Dating apps expose this reality in stark terms. Studies show women overwhelmingly pursue the same small percentage of men, those who display status, confidence, or physical superiority. The rest are ignored, no matter how good they are. This isn't cruelty, it's instinct. Women don't choose based on fairness, they follow a subconscious algorithm, refined over millennia. History proves this pattern never changes. Kings have been betrayed by mistresses, husbands discarded after financial ruin, and devoted partners traded for more dominant rivals. The common thread: once a man no longer meets the criteria, whether through lost status, fading strength, or emotional neediness, his value plummets. The lesson is clear: attraction isn't earned through service, it's commanded through strength. Men who understand this stop begging for fairness and start building undeniable value. The game was never fair, but the rules were always predictable. Play accordingly. Chapter 3. The psychological warfare of attraction. The modern dating battlefield isn't fought with overt confrontations. It's a silent war of psychological dominance where most men don't even realize they're being tested. Women instinctively deploy subtle compliance checks from the first interaction. When she cancels plans last minute to see if you'll rearrange your schedule, that's not rudeness, it's a power probe. The man who drops everything fails immediately, revealing lower status through his eagerness to please. Frame control separates winners from losers. Women deliberately escalate emotional tension to see whose reality bends first. When she picks fights over trivial matters or suddenly withdraws affection, she's not being irrational, she's stress testing your psychological stability. The man who chases, apologizes unnecessarily, or alters his behavior to appease her loses respect instantly. Meanwhile, The man who remains unshaken, who holds his boundaries without anger, gains unspoken authority. Investment always flows uphill. The more a man chases, texts first, or sacrifices his dignity for crumbs of attention, the faster she loses interest. Why? Neediness broadcasts low value. Women are biologically repelled by men who prioritize them above their own purpose. The solution isn't manipulation, it's becoming a man so self-sufficient that her validation becomes irrelevant. When you stop fighting for her attention, she starts fighting for yours. This isn't about games, it's about understanding the invisible rules that govern human behavior. The man who masters psychological warfare doesn't play to win women, he plays to free himself from needing them. Chapter 4. The Path to Transcendence. The only way to win a rigged game is to stop playing by its rules and start rewriting them from within. Schopenhauer's path to liberation isn't about manipulating women, but about achieving such radical self-mastery that their approval becomes meaningless. The first pillar is economic sovereignty. Money isn't just currency, it's autonomy. The moment a man depends on anyone else for survival, he hands over psychological control. Financial freedom is the foundation that allows you to walk away from anything that diminishes your self-respect. Philosophical depth destroys societal conditioning. Most men sleepwalk through life, absorbing cultural myths about love and masculinity, without question. The awakened man studies psychology, history, and philosophy not to impress others, but to see through the illusions that trap them. When you understand human nature at its roots, you stop taking rejection personally and start recognizing biological patterns playing out predictably. Physical mastery completes the trinity. Your body isn't just a vessel, it's the physical manifestation of your discipline. Strength training isn't about aesthetics, it's about cultivating the resilience to endure life's inevitable struggles. The man who conquers his laziness in the gym develops the mental fortitude to conquer challenges everywhere else. These three pillars, economic, intellectual, and physical, create an unshakable core. Women don't choose you, they recognize what you've already built. The paradox. The less you need them, the more they'll want you. Not because you've learned tricks, but because you've become the kind of man who transcends the need for tricks altogether. Chapter 5. Becoming ungovernable. The final stage of masculine evolution isn't about getting women, it's about reaching a state where their presence or absence no longer dictates your emotional weather. Most men remain psychological serfs, begging for validation from those who don't determine their worth. The liberated man becomes his own sovereign nation, recognizing that true power lies in absolute self-containment. This isn't isolation, the ability to engage authentically because you choose to, not because you need to. When you stop fearing solitude, you gain an unshakable negotiating position in all relationships. Women instinctively sense this shift where once they saw desperation, they now encounter a man who cannot be manipulated by attention or withdrawal. Your time becomes valuable because you treat it as valuable. Your standards become non-negotiable because you've proven you'll enforce them. This creates a magnetic pull that no pickup artist technique can replicate. The ultimate test comes when you realize you'd rather be alone than tolerate mediocrity. Most men fail here, clinging to unfulfilling relationships out of fear. But the man who's done the work, who's built economic independence, intellectual clarity, and physical discipline experiences a profound reversal. Women no longer evaluate him. He evaluates them, not from arrogance, but from the quiet confidence of someone who knows his worth isn't up for debate. This is true freedom, not the absence of relationships, but the ability to engage in them from a place of wholeness rather than lack. The ungovernable man doesn't resist love, he redefines it on his terms. And paradoxically, that's when the highest quality connections find him.